You are still listening to Fever Dream Diaries, so you could say we're BFFs at this point. That's why we want to invite you to join the Fever Dream fam. Visit anchor.fm/Fever Dream Diaries to subscribe. For the low monthly cost of $4.99, you'll get access to new podcast episodes before anyone else, exclusive bonus episodes, live stream opportunities with yours truly, plus you'll be signed up to receive our monthly newsletter, merch giveaways, and more. Head to anchor.fm/Fever Dream Diaries to sign up today. Once you subscribe, all premium content will be available wherever you listen to podcasts. We can't wait for you to join the Fever Dream fam.
Welcome to Fever Dream Diaries, a show where we unpack the time when our jeans were low and our hopes were high. My name's Becca, and I'm here with Haley. We are on episode 4 of our adventures in high school, so let's unpack.
At this point in our lives, we've lost a high school election. We've tried to hide from the police at a high school party. So, Becca, you could say we're really having an experience of a lifetime.
I would definitely say so.
In high school. And there were just so many, dare I say, cast of characters that played such an important role in these experiences that I feel like it's time we dissect those relationships and how they affected our lives. So this note I found, I think I added a PS to every note. People leave out the PSs now.
Oh my God, you're right.
You
could have just included that in the note.
I could have, but why not give you a special treat for after?
I used to always think it was PSS, and then I found out it's like PS or PPS, and it just failed it.
Oh, it's PPS?
Yeah, because it's like postscript.
Oh, wow.
Lame.
Anywho, are you ready for this gem? No, never. That's valuable information for the good people. I called you Oprah a lot.
I was obsessed with Oprah.
In this letter, I addressed it to Oprah, and I believe I'm talking about Corey. We talk about this man in every episode, and at first when we started this, I didn't realize what a big part of my experience in high school that he contributed to, but now I'm like, why aren't we still friends? It's kind of messed up.
I also realized I went to college with him.
Wait, that's a big piece of the puzzle. You did?
I definitely saw him at like parties.
At college? Yeah. Wow. Okay.
It feels like so long ago that I don't even feel like I have seen him in decades. Like,
I haven't seen him in decades for sure. So this note, I say, Oprah, okay, I finally made a final decision. I'm over him. I don't like him anymore. Finally. I'm so pissed. He lied about going to BG. Yeah, I'm just going to say he's going to know immediately. But you know what? Again, I'm shameless continuously. WTF? I was mad about that all day, but not because I like him. It's because he's my friend. I didn't want him to leave. And obviously, I don't want any of those BG skanks to have him. Why was I so aggressive? They were not skanks. They were 14-year-olds. Like, I didn't need to say that.
You just like really didn't want to have any sort of like threat to your relationship. So I understand it. You were able to control the chaos at North. You were not going to be able to control him at BG.
True.
Too far.
But you're not wrong. I go on. I seriously think Bujosa's gone for good. I pray to God. Okay, before I continue on with this note, I feel like the topic of Senora Bujosa has been brought up so many times, and we haven't really dived into who she was in our lives at this point.
So I was doing a deep dive into my Gmail account. Back in 2006, I was writing my mother daily emails about my life.
Oh, okay.
That was my original journal.
You know, that's fair though, Becca. If you think about it, at this time, we weren't really texting in the same way. Like, technology didn't exist in the same way. So you were emailing your mom. Like, who's to question that?
It's not a big deal. I mean, that was just, there's so much info in the emails I used to send her.
Okay.
And I had searched the name Bujosa in my email.
Okay.
And a bunch of emails came up.
Stop.
A bunch.
Okay.
And I'm specifically warning her in these emails about Senora Bajosa.
Oh, no.
So let me just read you like a quick summary of this one.
Please.
Hi, Mom. How are you? How's your day gone?
Oh.
I was so cute.
You were.
I'm in intro to business class right now. It's my least favorite class. Guess what? They're bringing my Spanish teacher back. She's an awful beast. But the lady that they had lined up can't get her degree for a while. And I guess that's too long to wait.
Also, like, how did we have so much information regarding the situation?
It gets better. There's
Okay.
more. Senora Sylvie, the Spanish teacher who's wicked nice, came into our room today to ask us for any suggestions for when our teacher comes back on Monday. We made a list that filled the entire board. We all hate her so much.
Oh, frick.
But I've been really trying hard in all my classes this year, so I think I'll do good on my progress report. Well, I just wanted to say hi, and I miss you so much. I'll call you later when I get home. Love you, Becca.
That is honestly sweet as hell. Also, I feel like in a way you cleared my name a little bit because I get along with most people. And the fact that I didn't get along with the Spanish teacher, no one did.
This is so true. This
the
is
whole
so
board
true.
was filled up, you said.
I also came across these notes from you and I.
Oh, those can't be good.
We kept talking about the little children. Does this ring a bell to you?
Oh,
This was like a long-running joke.
The fact that I had to rack my brain because that could have applied to multiple situations, but I do know what you're talking about. So I remember our Spanish class is where, did we both befriend the fourth in Spanish?
He was like technically in my class.
Why was I there?
You weren't in this situation, but we just made it a running inside joke for like the rest of high school.
So I think you should tell the story since you were actually the person involved, I guess.
Okay, this is a moment where the fourth, someone we mentioned last episode, a good friend, he was the whole reason for her mental breakdown. He was collecting candy. I really think he had actual candy. And
Yeah, we can assume.
Yeah, he ignored her request to sit down and shut up and was walking around the room during class just handing everyone candy.
The little children.
And then when he got yelled at by her, he just said, "What? Why? These children want candy." And I feel like we just rolled with that. And that was why we loved him, because he made this woman have a breakdown where she cried and left.
The fact that I remember this like it happened to me, but I know it couldn't have, is alarming.
The fact that I imagine him in like a Red Riding costume with like a basket, like throwing it out into like handfuls into the audience of children.
You know what? Let's paint that picture because that's what it was in my heart.
It was. And we still have that memory. So sorry to interrupt your
Don't be sorry. The moral of the story and what we needed to get to is we didn't like Bujosa because she didn't accept how much we needed candy and wanted the candy from the fourth.
Exactly.
But we digress. I conclude this note with, haha, Tupac, ? Like, why?
So
what was
much
the relation to
randomness.
Tupac here?
So much random.
We loved Tupac, I guess, but
did.
like, I don't know why he's in the middle of this. It also says Cheetalicious, which I feel like is another thing in every note. I love you, Becca, and I'm sorry for getting you in the middle of this.
I loved being in the middle of it.
You did love it.
I was ready. I was there stirring the
You
pot.
were. Boys suck. Still true. I need to hook up Miss Howard with someone. I owe you. Oh my God. Just tell me who and you got it. I was like, Becca, tell me any man you want at this school. I say man and I mean boy, little boys now in retrospect.
Literally children.
Literally children.
Literal children.
And I was gonna hook you up. No questions asked. I was like, okay, yeah, you want it, you got it. Okay.
That's how you looked. It was like wheeling and dealing. Relationships back in the day, it's like, okay, you're a single man, you're a single woman.
Perfect.
We're gonna connect you, make babies, make it happen.
The issue here.
I never thought about the fact that kids in our grade were like banging it out.
Because it wasn't us. That's
Not
the
us.
thing. It just was not us. So I continue on. If you want to be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. I'm a genie in the bottle. You got to rub me the right way. I didn't know what that meant.
Oh, no.
Then.
No.
You know?
You were talking about being a genie who granted me wishes.
Yeah.
That's
I
what it
was the genie.
Yes.
Haha. Yep. For definitely cheetah. Oh my God.
Oh no. Is it the PS? No.
I just feel bad saying this.
Oh no.
Gene.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Jane was drunk off Fanta at my party. Somebody spiked it.
Dude, I have a photo of chugging Fanta that we forced her to drink after this party because we had a running joke.
Dude, in the last episode we talked about how she was drunk off Vault. Now she's drunk off Fanta, although it does kind of sound like she actually was if someone spiked it. What the hell?
How we're just joking about that as if it's a normal thing.
Oh my god, the Vault. That's a picture we're definitely gonna post. We're not using names, but we're shamelessly gonna post pictures of all these people.
Oh my god, no. Blacking out nothing. These are just
I'm sorry.
photos.
This picture was taken and I'm sorry about that, but it happened.
I have some uncomfortable photos when I just pulled up Photo Bucket.
Oh,
Haley,
no.
you're not going to be okay.
Oh my god. Why am I naked? Okay, why am I flashing you in this photo? Honestly, I was a skinny legend.
You were a
I'm looking at that, I'm like, who is that?
this child. Oh also, this is... I'm sorry, we're going off tangent, but this is definitely in the elevator. When we got trapped in the elevator.
We got stuck in an elevator our freshman year, and we made the most of it. We had the best time probably anyone's ever had being trapped in an elevator. So
our photo shoots were a dream.
Wow.
Genuinely.
There's so much gold, and I can't wait to share it with the world. Well, maybe some things don't need to be shared. I loved that fur hat.
cute.
Faux fur, obviously.
Oh.
Someone recently came at me because they thought my eyelashes were mink. This is really off the beaten path, but first of all, do you think I can afford mink eyelash? Thank you for thinking that I could even afford that, but also, what the hell? What? I didn't even know that was an option.
That's like when this woman comes up to me and my corgi puppy and she starts giving me crap for not rescuing a dog.
What? Oh.
There's so many dogs out there that need to be adopted, and it's just really hard that there are people still breeding dogs. You're shaming me for being a responsible pet owner and adopting a dog? What? I'm sorry.
You didn't adopt your dog, did you?
Well, I guess I bought her, but it's the same thing.
I'm like, wait.
It's a little different, but it just felt the same, judgment when you don't know.
I feel you. Yeah, I was like, man.
I told her, I purchased this dog. She just showed up to me and she's like,
right. She didn't know that about you.
Clearly you have a designer puppy and you're a bad person.
I mean, you have an adorable puppy, so she's at least onto that. But yeah, I'm not wearing real fur at any point. I could not afford real fur, nor do I think I even would actually wear it. If, I wouldn't. And I love animals. I'm not trying to do that, but I was just like, damn.
Well, thank goodness we have things like fake fur and synthetic diamonds so that we don't have to have all these unethical practices.
Yeah. PETA.
Impossible burgers are delicious.
You know what? If PETA wants to sponsor us and throw in a few PSAs.
We don't want PETA sponsoring it.
But I don't want to.
PETA's crazy.
The thing is, I don't want to be on PETA's bad side either. So
PETA,
I hope you know, I'm sorry that Becca bought her dog, but outside of that, we love animals.
I'm sorry that Haley has mink eyelashes.
Oh my God. I don't even know what that would be like.
I feel like
these
they'd
are
be
so fake.
weirdly soft that it would be uncomfortable.
You know what? That's great if they look that real, I guess. If they look like they're real fur. But I digress.
It's a compliment and
I
just
digress.
Fuck the haters.
But fur hats were all the rage for me. Again, faux fur hats in high school. I really rocked the hell out of those. But did I have an obsession with Corey in high school? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Did I want...
We both did.
You know what? In our own ways, we both did.
We did.
And did I want the BG skanks to stay away? Yeah, and I still do. So
I'm still skanks, and they're still at BJ.
Absolutely.
They never graduated.
And you know what? I think we should also add that Corey is a happily engaged man. He's thriving, and he's doing fine, and we couldn't be happier for him.
And a very nice person.
He's a grand person.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I hope that nothing in these letters makes him feel any type of way, because he's a star in our eyes still nonetheless, and we were just dumb. Specifically me. I was just like a dumb 14-year-old saying these things like, oh, I don't want to go out. Just talking like that.
It was a lot of pressure for where we were at. We wanted to have freedom and independence. And he was, truly he was holding you back.
He was holding me back.
Do you remember, I mentioned in another episode that he was my bus buddy?
Yes.
But there was a specific day where we felt like we manifested. You and I manifested a trauma on someone else.
So, okay. What Becca's referring to is this young woman who I don't even know why I didn't like her in high school. I
just was like, yo, that girl is crazy. You
I think I was just riding that train with you. And
but trust me, it was not wrong. That train was not wrong.
And I held on to that stance and would to this day, nonetheless, blindly. But we did manifest her getting hit by a bus. I will say she's fine.
Was fine immediately.
Was immediately fine. It wasn't like...
Other than crutches.
Yeah.
She was injured, but it wasn't a death.
Wasn't. Yeah, and it also wasn't Regina George status. Right. It was very delicate for what it could have been.
I think you didn't like her because she was trying to get with Corey, too.
You know, she was one of those skanks.
They were on the same sports team. And they were like very close. And I think
probably.
And I gave you a heads up. This girl is going to be a problem. So we got to get rid of the problem.
And, you know,
and manifest an injury.
So messed up.
It's really messed up.
We had nothing to do with the incident. We maybe talked about her getting hit by a bus once, and then it did happen like the next day, which is very weird and strange.
And Corey got on the bus crying. And I remember like holding my phone up to the side of the bus and whispering to you in the phone.
I remember it.
Being like, Haley, something happened. Like, we made something happen.
Like,
and
we might be witches.
And you were like, what? And I'm like, Corey's crying. But everything's okay. I'll tell you when we get there. And then I get to school and Corey's like so
hysterical.
Mortified, literally like, I've never been in that situation.
Which like, again, fair because that's probably pretty traumatizing. I think, didn't he witness it?
They were on the same bus. And they were at the bus stop and I'm pretty sure he saw her cross the street and get hit.
And again, I'm laughing because she's fine.
Yes.
I would not be laughing if she was not fine. But she's fine. She's thriving. I can assume. I mean, I don't know her anymore.
She's fine. Just a funny little note from high school that I just remember about us was we were really dark. We would just say dark stuff like that and did not understand. It's like, you can't joke about someone getting hit by a bus. That's not okay.
If you're going to start opening the vault to
we're going there,
our dark jokes, I think it's time that we reveal maybe arguably the worst thing we did in high school.
Yeah, I agree. And I know where you're going because I literally found the poster.
Oh my God, stop.
Wrote it.
So, you know, we're out here saying how we don't know why Jane doesn't want to really be friends with us anymore. You know, she's getting drunk off Vault at my parties, apparently. Drunk off Fanta. We're best friends. We ran for a high school election together. This girl, this literally was actually my best friend from elementary school, Jane. We had been friends for a wicked long time. She introduced us. And for some odd reason, as we sit here as adults and we're like, why does this person not really want to be our friend anymore? Why'd we grow apart? Maybe it had something to do with the fact that we consistently would say things like, rest in peace, Jane Doe, but we'd put her full name.
Cringing so hard.
One day, I don't know what came upon us, but we decided to post on Facebook. This must have been when Facebook just started too, because we were pretty young.
It was when you had notes that you would like post a note as your status. It wasn't even like a status. It was like you would post your schedule for the year.
Sure.
And then everyone would see it. And we created one of those.
And it said rest in peace with her full name. And people are freaking out. They think she died. Understandably, they think she's passed on.
People are messaging us and we're cracking up. And people are like, it's not funny. Is your best friend dead?
We think this is the funniest thing to ever occur. And I don't know why. And we took it further than that, Becca. So we did the status. We did a poster.
I have a poster here. I have chalk drawing photos. We used to draw like actual gravestones.
Tombstones. We recently dove into our photo bucket, which we will again.
Don't worry.
We're going to share a lot of these gems on our social media pages, but we wrote rest in peace Jane Doe, actual full name, multiple times. And why were we not reprimanded for that?
There are so many things looking back that it would have saved me down the road.
Yeah.
To just be chastised as a 14-year-old.
I just didn't need to be doing that.
No.
And I think that has a big reason to do with why we're maybe not as close anymore. Not even just that specifically, but like that behavior. We were obviously just like kind of singling her out as the third wheel, I think, eventually, to really dissect it.
Oh, this is like a reckoning.
Because I think you and I just got really close, and she was kind of the one maybe more different from us, and it was a dark time, Becca.
No, I wish we could go back and do things a little differently.
Yeah, I wish we didn't do that.
Specifically the RIP.
Okay, if she is at the reunion, we need to perhaps record with her permission, because I don't want to violate her any more than I clearly already have. But I'd like to ask questions and really, more importantly, apologize.
I think we do need to apologize. This is a long time coming.
She'll probably laugh it off, because I will say, we're making it sound really serious, but I've seen this person multiple times, including just last year in public, and it's been a great experience. We catch up. We're very friendly with each other. There's no apparent hard feelings. She seemed really excited to catch up with me as well. There should be. You know what? There should be.
That's the thing. It's like, just because people are kind enough, like, to forgive us doesn't mean we did the right thing.
It doesn't mean we deserve the forgiveness by any means.
And we were also in our own crazy hot messes in that time.
Yeah.
So I don't blame myself. I don't blame you. But now we can look back and be like, wow, we were kind of crap. Like,
it was not good. It was not what you'd hope.
Jane is doing great. So
doing great, thriving in a great relationship. So we love it. But we can't create this podcast and not admit to the horror that we did. And that was one of the things. So I digress. I have another note here, I believe from the Corey era.
Oh, thank goodness.
Shall we dive in?
Let's do it. Yes, I'd love to hear.
OMG Reba. I don't know why I called you Reba as well.
So I'm probably going to guess it's because we watched Reba McEntire. And my grandma, when I was a kid, always wanted me to be named Reba.
Oh.
And I probably mentioned that at some point.
Yeah, it's a good name. It's a strong name.
It's a strong name.
A single mom who works too hard.
Who loves her kids and never stops.
Gentle hands.
And the heart of a fighter.
That's you. You are a survivor.
I hope to never be a single mom in her state, because she had that pregnant daughter, and
Reba went through tough times.
It was a lot. Didn't she have more than 2 kids?
Yes, Reba had 3 kids. The daughter, Cheyenne, who got pregnant in high school, but also Kira and Jake. Why do I remember this so vividly?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Great American TV right there.
Yeah, so we love Reba, so that's probably why.
So we do also love Reba McEntire. Anywho, I digress. It says, I'm currently watching Cheetah Girls 2. Amigas, Cheetahs, Friends for Life. That is seriously like the best movie ever, legitly. That's not even a word.
Oh my gosh.
Ha, Becca, we're spies together. I felt so sneaky. I think he got jealous when we were hanging out with his BG friends. Oh well, they were cool. And now I get all the sneaky insider information. So just for reference, we're obviously talking about Corey here. I say clearly we're talking about Corey here. Actually, I think I'm kind of over him, which is good. I go so back and forth in all these notes.
Seriously.
I'm so glad we have Senora Hunt. She's Oprah-licious. Like, what does that even mean? We just loved Oprah, so anything that we loved.
Oprah-licious.
And we hate, yeah.
Dr. Phil-licious.
Yeah. In fact, I'd like to point out, I crossed out Cheetah, so it looked like I was going to write Cheetah-licious, but decided to go with the Oprah-licious option.
Oh, I love that.
This was an interesting find, and I think leads us to talk about Corey and his BG situation and what that means. So BG was the private school in our town. Was it a Catholic school?
Yeah, it's like where the rich kids went.
Yeah, like you pay to go there, whatever. And Corey came from a private middle school. So I think naturally a lot of his friends went to the private high school, just he didn't. So he still had that connection to BG. So you two were bus buddies. Me and him were lovers and friends. Hard to say. But we would hang out with his friends from the private school, of which we didn't fit in with at all. I mean, we barely fit in at our own high school. So you threw us here.
I'm pretty sure the first time we met them was at a BG versus North game.
Which would very much make sense.
Mm-hmm. And I remember there being like a moment where we had Corey introduce us because we needed the intel. We needed that. We were good at making friends, so we knew the best way to get in with Corey was to get in with Corey's gang.
If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends.
Gotta get with my friends.
I know. I used to love football games. I never watched a lick of football, but you would find me at every football game.
Everyone. Through like junior year, I'd
Yeah,
say.
consistently.
Like, yes.
That was a big part of our high school experience. So we should definitely have a time talking about those. But
Definitely.
we got so infiltrated, is that a good word, into his BG relationships that we actually ended up going to one of their school dances.
Yep.
Oh, were we unwelcomed?
The nuns.
So,
girls.
I guess
The judgment.
the judgment all around from everyone involved. So, of course, Becca and I come through with our denim.
Yep.
Would you even call it a mini skirt?
Not mini, because we were like,
Kids.
small kids.
Yeah.
So we were probably wearing shorts, jeans that were up above our knees.
Let's be honest, and I don't mean this in any offensive way, but 14-year-old girls are dressing way more scantily than we were even then.
I'm pretty sure it was literally, I can remember that Aeropostale t-shirt I
Yeah,
wore.
like it
a
wasn't-
green Aeropostale t-shirt that was up to my neck. I did have big boobs, so just automatically they're going to think I'm a slut there because, there's nothing I can do about that. But we were walking into that like sheep into the wolves' den.
Absolutely. And it took mere minutes for the nuns to start trying to kick us out because of our outfits.
Literally.
I think they said our our skirts were too short.
How
And
did we stay? Did we just ignore
we
them?
kept hiding from them, Becca. I actually remember this. We kept trying to run away from them so they wouldn't notice that we were still there.
Oh my gosh. And it was like a tiny auditorium at this private high school.
At this I believe it was a religious school as
was.
well.
There were
of
nuns
course, there were
there.
nuns. Duh, there were nuns.
There were nuns.
But also, I remember crosses on the
Yes.
walls, and yeah, of course, there were nuns. I'm like, I think it was religious. The nuns kind of showed me that.
I'm up with like rulers to measure our
They
skirts,
did.
like legit. Like
They
this
did.
was something that I never expected because we went to public school.
At our public school, anything went. Like
Anything went. You were walking into a cafeteria, lights off, 8 p.m. on a Friday night. You are about to get fucking wrecked. You might be sober as fuck, but you're gonna have grinding up on you.
Oh my God, the grind train. So yeah, that's the difference between our high school dances and theirs. So that's what we were used to. There's a picture, oh God, I'm sure I could easily find this in the yearbook of a grinding train in our cafeteria. And I am in it. And I'm not proud to be in it, but I am in the
You
grind
were
train.
swept up in the moment.
The emotions of the moment. And there were so many people in this grind train because it's just like what people were doing. You have a conga line. No, this was like a ratchet conga line. Everyone was doing it.
But with your genitals. And if you think about it, like we were all horny. We're wearing like tight
Exactly.
dresses. The guys are all probably getting
Boners
hard.
everywhere.
And
Everywhere.
If you had turned on the lights and videotaped that, can you imagine?
You'd
Like,
be arrested.
yes, literally.
So
I always think the teachers that were there just letting that happen must have felt pervy as hell. Like,
and you know what? I'm getting the karma that I deserve because now I DJ high school dances occasionally and I see things that I cannot unsee. And every time in my head, the first thing I think of is I deserve this because of what I must have put people through.
can you imagine
at
if you
that time.
got to see yourself
I would.
as a DJ, just like at the DJ stand, just watching this small version of you?
I've seen so many young girls who I equate to being like exactly how I was at that time. And I'm just like, God bless you, sweetheart. You know what? Keep
Bless.
following your dreams. And maybe one day you'll be the DJ at a high school dance.
I love it. Full circle moment.
Keep following your passions.
Once
It's
again.
between that and all the annoying requests I'll get. I'm like, I was probably that girl making all those annoying requests. So I am getting karma sent back to me on a regular basis. But yeah, needless to say, the BG dance was different. They did not have grind trains. They did not want us there.
What music were they listening to?
That's a good question. I don't even remember there being music. Let's just assume there was none.
There's no music. The lights are on. Everyone's just drinking like punch. I don't know. There were dances in 8th grade. Haley and I did not know each other until 9th grade, but we went to the same middle school.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Hallowed halls of Elm Street.
Yeah.
Do you remember those dances at the church?
Oh, St. Joe's.
We were at those dances together.
Dude, I got weird at those
Those
dances.
dances. The first time I ever danced with a boy.
So, we talked about
Grind
exactly.
with a
Yes.
boy. Yes.
We were innocent in terms of like, obviously we were not having sex. We were not drinking or doing drugs at this time, but I will always shake some ass. And that has been a motto of mine since
Always.
the moment I came out of my mom's womb.
She's out there on stage, 4 years old,
Literally.
shaking ass at the kids modeling
Dude,
competition. Like,
always. If there's an opportunity to throw my ass, I'm gonna throw it, and you better catch it.
And I'm here to support.
Always.
I'm here to hold the ass.
So were we doing that in 8th grade at the St. Joe's dances? Absolutely. And no regrets. I wasn't even, I guess maybe I probably did grind with boys a little bit at that, but that wasn't even what it was about.
It was about being with your girls.
I just wanted to dance.
It was a chance to do, like, because our middle school did not have dances. Understandably.
Same, right. They didn't need dances. Totally.
But we needed a place to gather. So this church out in the boonies would throw these parties for everyone. And it was very strange because it wasn't the same vibe as BG where the nuns are there.
Right.
Watching. It was like anything goes.
Anything goes. Dude, you know what's crazy? I ran from the cops one time at one of those dances.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know why. I didn't need to. I was in 8th grade. I was like 12.
Did you run into the woods?
I must have. Yeah, I think, you know what? I was with, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I was with Jane, not our number 1 Jane, but the other Jane who we ran with in the quad threat, Jane 2.
Wow.
We went to a dance together and she told me to run, so I did. And I just don't really think it was necessary, but I think we were enjoying kind of pretending to live a life of danger at that time.
Yes.
It was definitely not necessary.
Jane, too, my memories with her were always being kind of crazy, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
She had older siblings, whereas we were much more innocent. Even
Right.
though you had older siblings, but it was
Mine
different.
were the corrupting kind. My sisters are 12 and 13 years older, so by the time I was that age, they were full-fledged adults. They weren't trying to corrupt me, thankfully.
That's so true. But Jane, too, was living in a small home with 4 older siblings that all were just ready to throw us whatever they were doing.
There was a lot going on in that household, for sure.
My first time drinking there, my first time hanging out with boys in a weird RV.
Oh, dear.
They had a pool, and I got the worst sunburns of my life there.
Shoot.
Just, those type of high school memories, like the more reckless days, where I feel like you and I were just way more wholesome when we hung out. It was
We really were. As much as we talk about these crazy things that occurred, we were always pretty wholesome at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Especially, and again, not to trash the young girls of this generation, but it was just a different time. Now I think it's just like less wholesome. And it's unfortunate because there's just so many more pressures from social media and things like that. But
It's true. Definitely.
we really were wholesome, and I still, again, will throw ass at any second. So that's just who we were. That was our essence. And we graduated eventually from all those dances to the Amber Room.
Oh,
the Amber
boy.
Room was kind of like our grand finale of high school. Did you go often?
I went multiple times to the point where it's ingrained in me.
So there was this place called the Amber Room in our hometown, and it was a club, like regularly a club, but certain nights would do
Thursdays.
18 and under. Was it Thursdays? 18 and under nights. Yeah. So it wasn't like we were sneaking into a club. It was for people our age. And again, that's where really I would just dance.
I would go sober, fully sober.
Oh, absolutely. I would just dance and have myself a time at the Amber Room. But that is a theme in our friendship, is us just trying to freaking dance.
Trying to have a good time.
And have a good time.
Trying to dance.
Any school dance, any underage nightclub, I'm there. I'm sorry, BG, that our skirts were too short. That probably led into why me and Corey never worked out.
That's true. I feel like his Catholic upbringing and just really he was ingrained in that religion.
He was wholesome in a different way.
Yeah, he was.
Than us. He could have never handled me. And I don't mean that in offense to him. I'm just a lot, a lot of energy, a lot of this. And in retrospect, it's not like we'd be together today.
Maybe just not what he wanted. Like,
It's not what he needed, and it's not what he wanted. As much as he thought he did at the time, I think I saved him from himself.
oh, we have you to thank for everything.
I hope that he feels that way. He's like, wow, dodged a bullet there.
I mean, no, he didn't.
Imagine if we were high school sweethearts and we're like married today.
I mean, this would be a
No.
very different podcast. Imagine if me and Andy were high school sweethearts.
Exactly. That's crazy. And you know what? Shout out to Corey's fiance, because we're obsessed with her low-key. Like, she doesn't even know anything about us, and we don't know her. We've never met her in real life, but just from social media, she's so cool.
She's a queen.
And I hope she's at the reunion, because honestly, I'm going to talk to her more than I'm going to talk to him.
We need that interview.
We need that interview.
We need that. And to see what she's told him.
You know what? We're about to really just unlock every door at this
Everything.
reunion, because that's what we were sent here to do.
We've got the keys, baby, and it's these notes.
It's these notes, and we've
Notes are the
just
keys.
begun cracking open the vault.
I'm ready. The vault. Vault is like the theme of this.
We have a couple of months to go until the reunion. So I think it's in our best interest to continue to go through these entries and see what we can find to kind of maybe get ahead of any situations that we might encounter.
Well, we haven't even delved in past 2007, girl.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of nuts to crack open here, as well as the photo bucket, the Facebook.
Oh my God.
Not
the MySpace, as we learned. That has been wiped.
MySpace. I know. I'm like, can I reach out to Tom?
Tom, just for a day, can you unlock it so we can just get what we need?
Literally, we never appreciated Tom how we should have.
No.
Tom was everyone's first friend.
We never gave him the respect that he deserved, and that's why he's done this to us, and we deserve it.
Can you imagine if there was a Facebook friend that ended up being Mark Zuckerberg, and we were all like, Mark, we love you, Mark. You're so helpful.
I know, Mark Zuckerberg just doesn't hold the same level of love.
Especially once we saw The Social Network. I mean, how can you love him?
Oh my God, I know. But Tom will forever hold a special place in my heart. And let's just continue on to the next note. If you like what you hear, make sure you follow us on all social media. Becca, tell them where they can find us.
Our Instagram handle is Fever Dream Diaries. Our TikTok is Fever Dream Diaries Pod. And if you want to email us, you can always send us a message at feverdreamdiaries@gmail.com.
Send us all your deepest, darkest secrets. We would love to read them. We would love to connect with you on that spiritual level. And also on our social media, we're going to be posting all sorts of content relating to the episodes. See old embarrassing photos of us. See relics from the past that will bring you back to a simpler time, right?
A time before TikTok, a time before Instagram.
Exactly.
When MySpace ruled the world.
Oh my God, a time we all yearn for. So be sure to follow us. And if you really like what you hear, leave us a freaking review somewhere, would ya?
Hell yeah. And maybe a comment, maybe like.
Yeah, if you think that someone else in this world would like this podcast, you show us some love so it can get spread to them. Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you're listening to podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. We won't be able to sleep well tonight otherwise.
Please.
We need this.